Hey everyone, it's Davey from EndlesslyHeSaid. So today I am doing another record collection video. For those of you that have not watched part 2 or part 1, go and check those out. They are in the description below so you can go watch those. This is part 3. We are looking mostly at records that start with the letter T, or at least the artists do, and we're going to go through to S. So I've been working from the back of the alphabet Z through to A, and we will get there. I realised that as I moved house my record collection is not in order. I have yet to reorganise this as I feel like I'm going to need an entire week to do so, and it's something that, yeah, you get the point. The first record I have to show you is Title Fight, Floral Green. This record is on side 1 dummy and comes in a cool little slip case with the artwork there, and there's the back cover gatefold. Opens out like this. Huge poster in there. Back of there is the album art. Title like Floral Green. I bet you're wondering what colour the record is. It's green. It's on green vinyl. Let's talk about Title Fight. So for anyone that loves Title Fight, I'm a little late to the party. I'll put my hand on my heart and say this. I wasn't their fan when they first started out. There was this new wave of bands that I feel like I lumped them all together, like the Wonder Years and Balance and Composure. And it was wrong of me to do that. But Title Fight have definitely been my favourite of the bunch of this kind of grungy pop punk. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. But I'm sure that like there's elements of shoegaze in their newer stuff. This record in particular really like struck a chord. I think it was that right sort of Seattle influence along with that like Philly hardcore sound that they've got sort of backed up with, and when I actually got to see them live at Outbreak Fest, I was sort of a little bit blown away at the kind of reaction that they got and the crowd participation, and that made me get it. I saw them at another festival and I saw them on this album tour as well. I'm going to see them at Outbreak Fest again this year in April, so it's going to be fun. Title Fight, Floral Green, this is my favourite record of theirs. Hyperview is good. I'm curious to see what they do next. I like some of their older stuff. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. Southern accents. I picked this up in a charity shop. It was quite cheap. Front cover, the back cover, printed dust sheet. And there's that. Just on black. So I guess I got this because this is going to sound terrible, but he's done his job. Brian Fallon in the Gaslight Anthem kept name-checking Tom Petty and his songs, and I'm like, I need to do my country homework and I need to listen to some better music. So I was already into like Johnny Cash and Bruce Springsteen, not that Bruce is necessarily country, but Americana, and I was always into like Willie Nelson as well, but Tom Petty came along a little late for me, and I think this is a really good record because it's kind of one of his seminal ones, right? So yeah, I don't really have much to say about this. I'm going to move on and listen to Tom Petty later and feel contemplative about life and feel good about things. Like in the previous video, I have 3 records from the same artist. That artist is Tiger Army. The first record is their most recent one. Tiger Army number their records, so this one's just called V or 5. It's a gatefold. There's the back cover. Here is that lovely gatefold with a nice picture of Mr. Nick 13 just there. This like splatter blue colour. I feel like I've shown this in another video, so I'm not going to talk about this record too much. I'm just going to slide it away and move on. Tiger Army, music from regions beyond. Back cover. Says on the front here, limited edition Burgundy Vinyl, and it indeed is. I really like this record. It has features from Brandon from Bleeding Through on it, and I guess that Orange County connection is pretty strong, so that's fantastic. I have one more Tiger Army record and then I'm going to talk about them. My last Tiger Army record is the first one. I don't have Power of Moonlight or Ghost Tiger's Rise. This is their first record. It's just self-titled. That cover. It has a printed inner sleeve and the lyrics are on the back. As the colour would suggest, this is on this beautiful orange coloured vinyl. Let's talk about Tiger Army. So I've been listening to this band for a long time. I remember coming into them on the Give 'Em the Boot compilations that Hellcat Records used to do, and it was a nice introduction to a very different sounding band. I grew up with a lot of punk rock and ska, a little bit of hardcore, but I wasn't really into psychobilly or rockabilly or anything like that back in the day. But Tiger Army really switched me onto that, and they're definitely my favourite band of that genre. I like the horror pops and a little bit of necromantics as well, but yeah, Tiger Army win it for me. They just do something completely different, and they mix that kind of Danzig vibes with Elvis and punk rock, and they make it work so very, very well. I got to see them recently on their last tour in the UK, and it was really nice to see them again for the first time, and I think was about, I don't know, like 8 years or something? It seemed ages. Yeah, they're touring a lot now, and I think they've got a more solid lineup. They're playing lots more shows. They used to just play every Halloween in California every year, and that would be it. But now they're touring, they're in Europe again now in the mainland, so if you've got time to go see them and they're still in Europe or even in America, go and check them out. Thrice, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. I've got a really strong feeling I've shown this record on this channel before, so I'm not going to talk about this. I feel like you can find that video. Like all good record collections, I have 2 Thrice records. This is The Illusions of Safety. There's the back cover, printed lyric sheet. Pretty decent weight, black vinyl. This is the album with Deadbolt on it, which I think is probably one of the only songs of this record that they still play. It's a really good record. It takes me back to a bit of an emo, screamo days. And yeah, we got to see Thrice last year. It was a really good time. They played at Leeds Festival, and yeah, they still pull out the stops, and I'm really glad they're still a band. It had been like a long time since I got to like see or hear their music, so yeah, this is a good classic record. I think I got this from Sam Knight from Renounced, and thanks Sam. I've definitely shown this Think I Care Discography LP, so that was in my Berlin Records video. I will link that up here, and you can go watch that. I've definitely shown this record as well, which is Love You to Death by Tegan and Sara. I do have another Tegan and Sara record though, so I'll try and find the video for this one too, so you can watch that. This is Heartthrob, the one that came out before. This one is kind of a big shift in sound for them. They went with this kind of 80s, like dancey, electronic kind of sound, and they're all bangers. They all sound like songs that you'd hear on, I don't know, like some kind of 80s movie. Here's the front cover, the back cover, printed picture in a sleeve, and lyrics on the back here. Black vinyl. I think that Tegan and Sara have definitely paved the way for a lot of younger artists too. Even if they're not as big as they could be, they are certainly making their impact on the scene with that. 4 more records. Taylor Swift 1989 record. I bought this after I bought the Ryan Adams version. The Ryan Adams version is definitely better. It's on a gatefold. It's a good quality record though. I think it's double 180 gram vinyl, and it's spread over 2 LPs, so all the songs get a lot of room to breathe, and yeah, there's not any crossover. It sounds good, it sounds rich. I don't think I've really got anything to add to the conversation about Taylor Swift other than I do really like her music, and I think I really like her newer records as well. I think they're better than anything they did that was a bit more country before. It happens once or twice in my record collection, but I have 2 versions of the same record. Take It Back, Attrocities, and here's the back cover. And on black vinyl. I also have a version on this dirty camo green vinyl. This came out in 2009. This is the 2nd LP of this band from Minneapolis. They had a first record called Can't Fight the Robots, and this is out on Facedown Records, and they collaborated with Abominable Records for the vinyl on this. I remember it being super cheap when I got to see them at Cornerstone Festival, and they are probably one of the most positive hardcore bands that I've ever got to see. Like, literally, like, good, clean fun, set your goals level of positivity. They're really like a force unto their own, and they're really catchy as well. They play really good sort of pop punk influenced hardcore. Yeah, really good tunes. Has anyone ever seen those mosh pit memes that are just like, have that track in the background and everyone's like flailing? Someone pulls up in a car and jumps out and everyone starts moshing. This is the band that the breakdown keeps getting used from, called Symphony and Peril, and this record's called The Whore's Trophy. So, Symphony and Peril is Sean Jonas, who used to be the original vocalist of Zao, and he went to do this new band, this new Christian band on Facedown Records. Cover, and here is the back cover. Printed lyric sheet, and then it's got all the thanks on the back there. I have a version on clear vinyl. Pretty sure they pressed this on red vinyl as well. Symphony and Peril are really good, angry metalcore. They do that kind of Christian metalcore thing perfectly for me. There's enough like breakdowns in there, there's enough like screaming, there's not very much singing in it, and I think they've kind of captured that mid-2000s sound perfectly. For anyone that loves like Bleeding Through, that loves like modern bands like Renounced, listen to Symphony and Peril. I think you'd be pleasantly surprised. Last record. So I'm going to finish on this one. We're going to start into the S's, which with Symphony and Peril, and this is the Sunn and Boris collaborative record. This is really heavy. This is the back cover. The LP's got like a book with just lots of creepy artwork in there. I got this record in Brooklyn when I was over in America, I think in 2008. It might have been earlier than that. And I remember at the time the pound was really strong against the dollar, and I could get like £1 was worth $2, and so I went there with loads of spending money, like completely made up that I could buy loads of records, even that one which I think cost me like $40 or something. I was just like made up it would be so cheap because I was looking at buying stuff online all the time when it was just sort of the dawn of buying stuff on the internet. But yeah, I kind of made off like a bandit. I remember eating food at Red Bamboo, and that was really good. And I remember going to the cake shop in Lower East Side and eating their vegan chocolate cake and watching some bands in the downstairs room. I like Sunn a lot. This is the record that I probably would listen to most. I think I'm a bigger Boris fan than I am a Sunn fan, and I like what they do with that drone stuff. I've never got to see them live. They just played a show in London and it sold out before I got a chance to get tickets and make arrangements and the rest of it. But yeah, I hope to very soon. I've seen Boris before and they always put on a killer show. But yeah, they worked really well on this record together. I think Boris's collaborative efforts are like some of their best, and yeah, I would definitely keep like pursuing their music down that route too. That about wraps it up for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, click the red button down below. If you haven't watched the old record collection videos, you should go and do that, and I will link them in the description. If you have any records you want to see or you're looking forward to, or any stories about the ones that I've shown, let me know. That'd be good to hear. I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.